Welcome back to Games Revealed. I'm James and also Brink, and we are one community. Today I want to talk about something, honestly, that was super exciting, something that was fun last week, that I replaced my Steam Deck's shell with the eXtremeRate Chameleon Purple Blue Custom Full Set shell with buttons. You can see the buttons right here. Everything, pretty much, except for the touchpads, and I'll get into that in a little bit of why I did not change those out. You even got the back buttons right here. The grill, pretty much, if you can see it on the outside, it's been replaced except for, like I said, the touchpads and I guess the controllers. So this is a very interesting replacement, as it's the only one I've done so far. I plan on doing the JSOX one next, but the eXtremeRate is a process. Let's just say that. So this video is not going to be a process. This video is going to be very interesting. So make sure to watch the whole thing, because I'm going to have a bonus sneak peek tip, because I'll be doing a tips video on replacing your shell in the near future, but I'm going to have a sneak peek one. So make sure to watch the whole video and leave that comment at the end. But before we get into this fully, make sure to like, subscribe, bash that bell with your crowbar now. Okay, we got all that kind of out of the way. First up, we're going to go into this a little bit of, I almost broke my deck with this mod. So, and when I say that, I'm half joking, as in I got everything replaced. I took everything out, replaced the whole shell, right? Like the screen, everything. And then, of course, the brave me, you can watch the live stream. It was about if you're watching this video of release, it was about a week ago. And it took me about 4.5 hours to replace it. Now, when I got to the end to test it, I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to test it after screwing everything in. Literally, I screwed it. So I screwed everything back into the case, and it didn't turn on properly. Like, it kind of acted like it was powering on, and didn't. So I had to go back in, remove a couple of pieces, reattach the screen, and made sure all the ribbons were secure, tested it out, it powered on fine. So just a little, I guess, pre-tip note, just make sure all the ribbons are secure and test it before you put the shell back on, as it does get annoying to remove the shell, or like the back casing, that is. So there's a little bit of a warm-up story for you guys, and it's not meant to deter you from getting it. I will do plenty of that later on, but I'm also going to give a lot of encouragement to people that want to try this. So, but, why would you want to do something like this? Well, I mean, obviously, visually, it looks much better than, I think, my previous Steam Deck. I really like it. I really, really do like this replacement. I was a little apprehensive at first, especially when I looked at it. I was like, well, it's a little shiny, makes it look a little cheap at times. But honestly, once I've replaced it, the shininess makes it feel maybe a little more premium. And with this with the kill switch protective case, it covers up most of it, but what remains still looks great. So I will have to say it is a little disappointing that it covers up most, but what is visible still looks amazing. And with the black and blue purple contrast, I really like this shell with a case. So at the end of the day, it was not a waste for me. I really like it. Now, what I don't like about it is the trackpads. You see these trackpads right here? Yeah, those are the original trackpads. What it comes with is this right here. Now, you can probably see, oh, hey, look, that looks like it's going to be a little sticky, as in your fingers get a little moist at any point, and it's going to stick to it. It doesn't slide well. Well, what do you want your trackpads to do? You want them to be a well-oiled machine and to be able to slide across it, right? You want your oils on your fingers to actually like slide, so you have some movement, or else it's not going to be a good experience when you're trying to play games. Trust me, it's just not. With this, your oils don't matter. Your your greasy fingers, even some KFC, is not going to help this thing move. No, it's best, honestly, just leave the originals on. But enough of that. This is the biggest downside to this whole case. So far, I've been using it for 1 week, and it's worked great. So, and the wear and tear doesn't seem too apparent so far. But I do use a case. I'm impressed so far with the eXtremeRate casing. I also have to mention that I did get this free from them to use. I didn't get paid to do this. It's not an ad or anything like that, but they gave me a review unit so I can test it out and let you guys know how it is. Now, the hardest part about replacing your shell is getting the screen off. The screen takes probably a good 30 minutes to get off total, because you have to heat it up, and it takes about 3 to 5 minutes heating it up. You can use a hair dryer or a heat gun. I'm getting a heat gun thanks to a lot of generous donors, and it's going to help in the future. But just know that this is nerve-wracking. You get all the toolings, like right here is a lot of the stuff you'll get, including a suction cup that you can suction a portion of the screen, lift it up as you heat it, and I'll leave most of the details for another video, but it's a pain in the butt. And 30 minutes is roughly what I would expect as you're heating it up, trying to take it off. And then once you take it off, if you didn't heat it up enough like me, there's still sticky stuff that you need to get off the screen, because if you apply the new sticky strips to it, it could potentially add bumps to the screen, so the screen will pop up and have edges, and then that could eventually be issues down the road. If it gets caught, rips up the screen. There's a lot of things that can cause issues that you just want to avoid and take your time with it. So yeah, it's definitely not a fun part of it. The adhesive, like a lot of people have mentioned, is very difficult. So yeah, heating that thing up. Do not exceed 100 Celsius is the recommendation, or else you're going to be having other issues. At the same time, it seems more daunting of a task than it really is. It really just slap some heat on that thing, keep on trying with a pick, and yeah, I'll let you know in another video. Now, who do I recommend doing this mod? I recommend anyone that is willing to take the risk and to void their warranty, and that really wants something that's just going to be that next level. If you're a Steam Deck nut, if you enjoy the Steam Deck, you enjoy doing mods and doing everything, and you just want that extra look, this is the way to go. Honestly, a full shell replacement, you're going to get it. You're going to get looks. You're going to get people asking, especially as the Steam Deck gets more and more popular. If you care about that thing, people are going to ask about it. People are going to notice it. Like this thing right here, it went from a black mass of, okay, like, it's interesting, to, okay, I'm gonna be spotted out of a crowd. Not everyone's gonna want that, but if you do, there's a good way to do it. Now, avoid these shells if you don't want to spend 6+ hours moving every part of your deck over to a new shell. The risk level is very high on this, but it's below soldering. So let's be fair. It's not like you're gonna have to replace a little piece on your deck that needs to be soldered back on, or even swapping out the controllers. Like the controllers, the joysticks, those things at least used to require soldering. They don't now, thankfully, but they used to require that. And that was an extra level of just tooling that you didn't have and all that. This shell replacement does not require that. It just requires a lot of unscrewing, screwing back in, and heating up your screen. It does require that heating element that is not included, that most people should have access to a hair dryer or something of that nature. But if you don't, then you're going to need to get one. And honestly, yeah, I would emphasize, if you just don't want to take too much of a risk to avoid this type of mod, but I still want to challenge people to try this. Even if it's outside your comfort zone, it is great to go out of our comfort zone sometimes and just do something a little extra. And I think this is a good way to do it. Just take your time, be careful, make sure to label parts as you take them out. Make sure to just take that extra time and not get frustrated. If you get frustrated, step away for an hour, go for a walk. It helps. So just, yeah, I do want to challenge people to do this. It's a great way to get into the modding scene. Yes, it's not the most intensive mod out there. It's not like you're ripping out and putting a new heat sink in or anything like that, but it still does take a lot of work, and patience is a virtue here. Now, the bonus sneak peek tip that I promised is that when you're removing the back portion, the main board, so there's the daughter boards, and then there's the main board, the motherboard, and when you're removing that, you do not need to remove the heatsink off the APU. There's a portion where in the guide that they offer, the eXtremeRate, they remove it from the APU. So like the fan and heatsink gets removed. You don't need to do that. You just unscrew everything and you can unscrew it in such a way that you can just take it all off at once. Now, if you don't want it dangling, then you could do the whole take off, but you don't need to. Like, as long as you're careful, you're going to do just fine. Now, at the end of the day, I really liked this shell. I do recommend it to people that are willing to take that risk. I think it is fun and a new way to bring life into the Steam Deck. I definitely will say avoid the trackpads, get the shell. It's a thumbs up for me. Do it. It's fun. It's a fun project. Just know that it's a lengthy project and take a long time. So with that, let me know in the comments below. Are you going to be doing this? Are you going to be replacing the shell on your Steam Deck? Is this something that you're a little fearful of? Is it something that you know exactly what color? Maybe there's not a color yet. I'm curious what color you're going to do. If you're going to do this, why you wouldn't want to do this. And also, would you pay a service to do this? I am curious about all those things. So let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. Check out all the goodies below in this video description, as there's lots of stuff that helps the channel grow. I have great coffee recommendations. I have, which I know it's not quite the same thing as what we talk about here, but everyone has to have a little bit of energy to get through replacing the shell, and that Bones Coffee is great for that. Then also, I have the Shop Undead merch stuff that I do. Also, the channel merch. Become a member. It helps the channel. All those goodies down there below, including a ton of accessories for your Steam Deck that you can go browse and maybe find something you like. So thank you guys for watching. Check out my other videos. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out. Later.